Welcome back to the It's Really Not That Deep podcast.
It's never that deep.
Welcome back to the It's Really Not That Deep podcast, where we say it's not that deep and then we get extremely deep. So, today's episode, we're going to be talking about the psychology behind Not That Deep, why we called this podcast Not That Deep, and why I say it to myself approximately 7 times a day.
It's gotten to a point where, like, me and my dad will look at each other and we'll just be like, it's not that deep.
And, like, sometimes I'll say it to people and, like, I can tell they think it's corny and other people are like, it's not that deep.
Yeah, and sometimes I also feel like people think I'm saying it because of the podcast.
Yeah.
And, like,
sometimes I am.
Of course I am. But I mean, like, it's not that deep.
It's just never not that deep.
And the best is when people start saying it too.
I know.
I'm like, yeah, girl. So Joelle had asked me to do this episode a few weeks ago, and I don't know why I was so hesitant on it. I just didn't really get, I guess, what the point of the episode was. And then me and my friend had a really deep conversation, and basically we were, like, almost dissecting my brain, and she was like, you don't take anything seriously. It's sometimes has to be deep. And I was like, oh, but it's not that deep. And she's like, but it should be. And I said, oh, this is a good podcast episode. So I was like, Joelle. She's like, yeah, obviously I was right.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Yeah, so here we are.
And also, just, like, something that sparked this for me was Haley, we told you about the story where she commented it's never that deep on someone's TikTok post, and it got, like, 10,000 likes. And someone was like, well, it's that deep when, I don't even want to say it. When someone close to you dies, it's that deep. Yes, we're not referring to that. Like, that's awful. Grief is awful. Death is awful.
But you made it that deep. No one asked you.
We're talking about, like, when I said it's not that deep, I stubbed my toe. I'm literally on the verge of tears and a mental breakdown and screaming at the world. And then I say it's not that deep. And I move on with my day.
Or, like, you're caught in an argument and you, like, stop yourself halfway through a point. You're like, oh, wow. It's just not that deep. And you're like, never mind.
It's nervous system regulation we're talking about here. Just calm down.
It's different once you learn the art.
So
it's not that deep.
If you make it that deep by being like, well, it is that. That's a you problem.
Yeah, you're a lost cause. Sorry, that was rude.
And it's been like 3 minutes of us talking and we haven't even mentioned the crystals on the table.
Here's my time to shine. It all started a few years ago when I was really into ASMR on TikTok. I'm not joking. I would search up so much ASMR. Do you guys like ASMR? I don't know. And somehow I got onto this girl's TikTok page. Her name is kenna.crystals.co. And I swear to you. And she had, like, thousands of videos. I watched through every single video for the ASMR because the ASMR of packing the videos was so good. So it got to a point where I was like, I knew all the crystal names and I knew all these things just from watching the videos over and over and over again.
I did not know this was the story.
Yeah, you learn something new, see? And through that, I just got really into crystals, and she would talk about, like, what they mean and, like, the properties from the earth, and I got so into it that I became obsessed, and when Haley becomes obsessed, she becomes obsessed.
Just to put that into perspective, guys, this is my crystal collection via Haley. Like, I would have 0 of these if it weren't for you.
I'll insert a picture of me and Joelle. Was it you?
Yeah.
Yeah. When we
counted all her crystals.
We counted how much money I've spent on all the crystals, and it's not a pretty number.
This is what we have for now. And she's beautiful. We were admiring her.
Yeah.
But, like, let's spice up the table. What better way than
crystals?
More good energy.
And if anyone ever wants a deep dive into crystals, I know none of you will. Let me know. It will be my absolute honor.
Someone might. It's niche, but...
It's niche. Okay, back to the episode.
Now that we've mentioned our crystals.
I don't know why I felt like the need to deep dive into my history.
Because this is our first time having crystals on the table. It's a big deal.
Like, it's my passion.
It's my passion.
Yeah, that's what I feel. After seeing... I know we're, like, getting really off topic this episode already, but I think it's fine.
Yeah.
After seeing, like... So we had a guest on the pod. And after dealing with the whole week of just the content, posting, editing, and everything, I was like, wow, we've gotten so comfortable in front of like talking to the camera.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. Like, I am so much more comfortable to just talk, like how I usually am. There's no like second thoughts like, oh, what if I did this? Like, I'm like, wow, look at us go.
It's amazing. It's so cool. And it also made us realize a lot of people have been asking to be on the podcast. A lot of jokes. Like, a lot of people would not actually come on. You're going to have a really good pitch because it's not easy to have a guest.
It's not easy to have a podcast just the two of us. It's a lot of work. You don't see how much work. It's more than just us talking.
Yeah.
And then when you add a third variable... oh boy, it becomes an algebra problem that I can't solve.
Neither of us are good at math.
Exactly. That was a good one.
So, if you're going to ask to be a guest,
it better be good.
Super fan?
Super fan. We're talking super. You might as well make merch for us.
Yeah, there has to be some exchange of value.
Or like a great story. Period. Now that we cleared that up. Jumping back into the reason we're all here to talk about the not that deep lifestyle. We believe there's two types and two sides of being not that deep. The first is the healthy side of it, being able to let go of something, be able to release, as Joelle said before, it's a nervous system reset, did you say?
Like regulation.
Regulation, yeah, that's a smarter word. Yeah, a nervous system regulation. And the other one is not as good. Wait.
Yeah, we've all been there. Like, you just, like, write it off as not caring in the name of not that deep.
Yeah, so I completely lost my train of thought, so I'm glad you finished it for me.
Was that what you were going to say?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Anyways. So because no one likes a Debbie Downer, we're going to start with the healthy side of not that deep and the reason that we truly believe that girl on my TikTok post was being a drama queen.
Preach.
Here we go.
I also hope this gives you guys insight into, like, why we love this name. And, like, hopefully you'll really love it, too.
And we were pretty sold on it at the beginning, but we weren't, like... Were we?
Yeah. As soon as we came up with it, we're like, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember anything.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for.
I know. I feel like people are like, oh, she hated it. No, I literally don't remember.
That's why we clarify things around here.
Yeah.
So the first reason that we think not that deep is a good principle to live by and a good thing is because most things really aren't. Like, we're not talking about the huge life changes, like going through a breakup, losing a loved one. We're not talking about those things right now. We're talking about the little day-to-day things like someone at work is annoying, or you mess up something, or you trip and fall, and you're being so hard on yourself. If your first reaction to those little things are it's not that deep, that changes your whole outlook on life.
And it's just such like an easy thing to grab at. Like you say, like how are you able to get the tools to be able to like pull yourself out of those like intrusive thoughts? And literally just by like I forget the word for it. It's like a
reframing?
CBT, like Pavlov
conditioning?
Yeah, you're like conditioning your brain to like it's a
conditioned response, like
to a stimulant.
Yeah, I think we're reaching here.
Okay. Okay.
It's just I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, but it's like you condition yourself to think that when you think not that deep, then like you're conditioned to.
It's your mindset. It's your baseline.
Yeah, releasing your mind.
Yeah.
And I think once you go not that deep, once you train yourself to do the little things, it starts like hitting you during like a little bit bigger moments where you're like, oh, this could really stress me out, and it would have stressed me out.
So true. I feel like since we've started this podcast, like I've had that shift a lot.
It's crazy.
Wow,
it's
I'm
great.
So happy. You feel that way too.
Yeah. I'm. It's not that deeping left, right, and center.
It's never that deep.
It's never that deep. Like never. You know how many times we say that to each other?
All the time. Even if it's like pretty serious, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep.
Because it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Everything ends up okay.
Yeah. We had a stressful situation over the weekend, and we were so calm about it, and it all turned out okay.
What was the stressful situation?
That in the past would have sent me for a loop.
Yeah.
And I was so
You
calm.
were really calm. Everyone take a shot every time we say it's not that deep.
Oh God, you'll die. anything that happens in our external lives, we want to make meaning of. Like, we want to attach meaning to it, so we do. And that's why a lot of neutral things become negative, because we're just overthinking it so much, and our brains do have a negativity bias. But like, in the idea of not that deep, there actually are like
psychological
explanations for it actually not being that deep.
Yeah, we did like go to school for a few years for this.
And the first one is cognitive distortions, which literally like put a filter over your brain to make you think differently. They distort your reality based on what your brain has told you in the past. So if I'm a socially anxious person, which I am, and I walk into a room and my initial thought is, people here aren't going to like me, I'm going to be awkward, I'm going to be awkward. This is tried and true. One day I went to the gym and I was so unconfident in the gym, I like was a shell of a person. And I said to myself, I am the most confident person in this gym. No one here is more confident than me. Why would they be? And the difference in the way I acted and who smiled at me and who came was crazy.
You're just to walk in like you belong.
Yes, but my brain tells me I don't belong. Why? Why don't I belong?
Because I was saying this a lot last night. Fear is a way stronger emotion than hope. It's the same as like a negative emotion is way stronger than a positive one.
But not anymore. I feel like I've low-key overridden it for a lot of things.
Well, that's great.
Which is why we're trying to relay this information to you, because we have better brains than you.
You trying to be mean? You can't be mean.
I thought that was so mean.
I know you did. I think when you hear of therapy, you think of cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT therapy. And when you do CBT therapy, there's, I don't know how many, I think there was 9 at least when I was doing it, but different factors that make your mind overthink. So like catastrophizing is one of them. I just had to stop to search it up. So when you do CBT, you learn about, as Joelle said, cognitive distortion. So that's what these things are. So a cognitive distortion that you mentioned is catastrophizing. So some of the other ones that I can read is, one is filtering, focusing on the negative, ignoring the positive. So that's like pretty much that. All or nothing thinking is a big thing. So all or nothing thinking is thinking, oh my God, all of them hate me.
So just, can I jump in? So on this one, what was the word you just used?
All or nothing.
All or nothing. So there's this thing called the spotlight effect, which I definitely experience. And it's when you think everyone's paying attention to you.
Yeah.
Most people are not paying attention to you.
No one cares about you.
Nobody cares what you're doing.
Once you learn that no one cares about you and everyone cares about themselves, it's so much easier to walk in confident.
Yeah. But everyone thinks that
everyone cares so much about them. You're not special like that. That's what I sometimes have to tell myself. Like, what are you so special? Like, are you naked or something? Why is everyone staring at you? It's not that deep.
Like, would you care if you were someone else? No.
No, because you're too focused on yourself.
Yeah. So don't let fear of being perceived stop you from anything. I feel like I've been saying I have a fear of being perceived for so long, yet here I am.
Yeah, and that's kind of a crazy thing to do.
Rewiring.
Look at you go. Okay, I could just read a few more of these.
Please.
Emotional reasoning. Oops.
Explain emotional reasoning.
So that's like when you say, I'm feeling this, this, and this, so all of that must be true. And what cognitive behavioral therapy does is it completely rewires those exact thoughts.
Yeah.
To think, oh, these things happen, and maybe it happens for this reason, but that doesn't equal, A plus B doesn't always equal C.
And that's so real, because when you're in an emotion, you think it applies to all areas of your life and it's going to last forever. That's brutal.
Yeah. Okay, so I have 2 more I'm going to talk about. One is jumping to conclusions. So that I think we all do. Immediately, I'm exposing myself. Like, I've already gone so far, I might as well just make myself look worse.
Sure.
So I told the story last week about how I like this guy on Hinge, and I wanted to understand his story about Jell-O in his Hinge prompt, and he never responded to me. Right. Keep in mind, I do know this guy, and I haven't talked to him since high school, but I do know him. He follows me on TikTok. So every time I repost, I'm a reposter. So every time I repost videos, I could see this person liked the video you reposted. So I saw that he liked a video I reposted. So I wanted to see what the video was. I do that with everybody. I click on the video and it sends him a DM. So if you saw that, no, you didn't. Like, It was a mistake, okay?
Oh
I'm not crazy.
You told me this, but like I didn't. And I was like, not that deep.
Literally, and I was like, this might be deep.
Like, nope.
I was so embarrassed.
That is so funny.
Yeah, right? Like, of course that happens.
Yeah.
It's honestly for the plot. For the pod.
Why not?
Instead of for the plot, I'm gonna start saying for the pod.
Facts. That's really smart.
Yeah, because I think about it a lot.
The pod is the plot.
Yes, it is. Like, when we're out, I'm like, for the pod. It's for the pod.
Oh,
I love us.
For us.
Yeah.
I love us.
Anywho, the last one. This, I think, goes hand in hand with the spotlight effect. So it's personalization. So with personalization, you often think that everything's about you. You always assume you're responsible for something. So like, I was the cause of this and whatever, and they don't like me because I did this.
Yeah.
Again, sometimes you have to remember that people don't think about you. They think about themselves. People are naturally selfish people.
And something I've been really trying to teach myself on that note is like, if someone has a problem with you, it's their obligation to come talk to you.
100%.
I don't need to make up 100 people being mad at me for 100 things I've done that they haven't even approached me about. I should be close enough with everyone in my life that like, if there's something between us, they're gonna come to me. So otherwise, let it go.
Yeah, and I've gone to a point where I can't be like friends with someone that wouldn't tell me.
No, it's exhausting. The passive aggressiveness.
Yeah, and it's like not worth the headache.
Every relationship is hard. Just pick your hard.
I discovered that I'm really bad at putting on lip gloss or lipstick or anything that relates.
Define bad. You go outside the lines?
For someone that could like draw too. I don't know. I think I don't know how to do it.
Totally different sport.
Totally different. Like completely different.
Two worlds. As a people pleaser and a bit of a perfectionist, I have a little bit of rejection anxiety, rejection sensitivity. My ex-boyfriend was in sales, which like you need to put yourself out there and you get rejected a lot, and you would always tell me how good that was, how important it is to get rejected. And I obviously understood it, but I just had such a fear that I was like, yeah, whatever.
Not for me.
Yeah. But I feel like I've been doing it a lot. And this not that deep mindset has really helped me with it. If someone rejects me, like, say, for a date, like, okay, goodbye. If someone rejects me in a job, it probably just wasn't meant for me. Like, any rejection, it is redirection, whatever, but it doesn't even have to be that. It can just be neutral.
It could just be a thing.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a reflection of who I am or my abilities.
Well, back to rejection sensitivity disorder. Dysphoria.
Disorder.
It's a disorder. It is a disorder. I used to think like I'm so good at rejection and I could take it. I can't take rejection. I'm so sensitive about like I'm not sensitive about I feel like socially, but like in other ways, I'm so sensitive. If someone tells me something like I don't know, because I'm really good at taking, like, constructive feedback. If someone gives me, like, a little positive sandwich, like, I'm great at it, and I want to improve, and I have a lot of trouble, like, noticing if I struggle with something. So if someone tells me, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
But if I, like, don't get into, or, like, if I I don't know, it's really hard to think.
Can I take a guess at what you're saying? Like, it's like unrealized potential. Almost. Like if you do something and you get rejected, I feel like it's more of a frustration that you're like, I know I could have done that well. Like that's when you would take it to heart, I feel like.
Maybe. I guess things I care about. Like I always say, this is so bad and don't take this. Like do not take this advice. But I always say that I don't try things that I know I wouldn't be good at. And it's true.
Yeah.
But, like, why would anyone want to do something they're not good at?
But, like, give me an example.
Like, this is a dumb example, but, like, a sport.
Yeah.
If I know I'm not going to be good at it, why would I even try?
No, but I'm back.
Yeah, or, like, I went on a date to this arcade, and I was choosing all the games, obviously, and he's like, want to play this? I'm like, no.
Yeah. I don't want to embarrass myself. I do that, too.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a toxic trait. I think that's knowing your strengths.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Reframing. But another thing with rejection sensitivity that, like, I'm very prone to is, like, reading very deeply into very neutral things. Like if I text someone, I'm like, was that weird? Was that because I'm scared I'm gonna get rejected?
Mm-hmm.
And like that's happens all the time. Like that's such a micro moment that like has big effects. So I'm trying to like change that.
And
hard.
like you definitely have, like, even the situation that we had to deal with, like, you were so calm, and even like coming to me with things that you wouldn't have come to me about, and like being like, is this bad or something, like, and I could just be like, not at all.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have done that before, so you would have stayed in your head.
Yeah. I'm trying to be more genuine and like authentic to who I am, and like know that that's okay. Like affirm myself that whatever that is enough.
Yeah, and I like you so much better like that.
Thank you. I think most people do. But it's that fear.
Do you like yourself
Yes,
better?
much better.
That's good.
But it's that fear that like if I let out the real parts of me, what if then they leave? What if you don't? What if they were your soulmate but you were holding back half your personality?
Yeah. I see, so this is the part where I'm like, this is where I have rejection sensitivity.
Come on.
So I think I'm like super confident, and I'm not scared to get rejected. And I was talking to my friend, as I mentioned, and she was like, you put on such a front that you're so confident, and it's almost like an act to yourself, and like you believe that act, so if you get rejected, it's almost not you getting rejected.
Yeah.
So I think I fear, like, you said in a few episodes ago, like, you're a chameleon, and I think I feel like I'm a chameleon in situations that I'm scared to be rejected in, because I just match whatever energy you're giving me, so you never really get to, like, you never see my vulnerable side.
Yeah.
And that's where I fear it should be deeper than I make it. And I think this is just a great segue to our next part of the pod, which is the flip side.
So the flip side of not that deep is when you use it to like write off emotions or write off taking accountability for things. So sometimes when negative things happen, we try to like explain it away through logic or like act like we're being very chill about it, and try to like convince ourselves of that. But underneath that is often just a fear of vulnerability. Like putting on that brave front. Why? Why are you doing that? Is it because you don't want other people to see you down, or is it because you're afraid of facing your emotions? Probably.
You know what? I'd love the answer.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's my biggest issue.
Let's talk about it.
Well, I always tell people that I'm like the most open book ever, but you won't ever know anything about me, which is obviously not true because I'm very open, and I do share, like, if I can understand something, I'll share it. So I've gone through therapy and I've like done all that work, and because I understand exactly what was going on in my brain and what happened and the reasons, I'm so open about it. Mm-hmm. But if I can't open something up to myself, which I'm really good at, then I can't talk about it to other people. And like I was even trying to talk to Joelle about it a bit, and like my friend as well. And I was like, they're like, you know, you could talk to me and whatever. And I was like, I know, but I can't even talk about it. Like I can't bring it to the surface because I can't process it and be vulnerable.
Yeah. And you've been bringing this up a lot because like you just kind of realized this about yourself, and I always say acknowledgement is the first step. Like now that you've acknowledged it, you'll start working on it and you'll become more vulnerable. That's inevitable. But you're not alone in this in the slightest. Yeah. The fact that you even acknowledge that this is a pattern, most people don't. Like people act that's why in the first episode I was like, if you're gonna do weird shit, make sure you know what you're doing. Like people act unconsciously because they don't understand themselves, and you're on a pursuit of understanding yourself, which is insane.
Yeah, and you don't realize how like one little thing, I have to switch positions because of my foot sleeping, how one little thing can affect so many bigger things. Like, okay, so I'm not vulnerable about this one thing, so it affects the people I choose to go out with, the people I choose to surround myself with, how I choose to, what job to do. It affects a lot of things that I didn't even realize.
We were going to do an episode, Nature versus Nurture, and it's just crazy. Like, the butterfly effect.
Should.
We will, but we're going to do it tonight. One thing that happened in grade 4 when some girl said something mean to you could have changed the whole trajectory of your confidence and your life and your personality. Nurture.
Well, I went through so many years of therapy for it all to go back to one thing someone said to me one time.
Yeah.
And I was
Everything starts somewhere.
Yeah, and I was like, really? That was what all this is from?
Yeah. It's a build up.
Yeah. So what I've mastered is the, like, chill girl mask. Everyone always compliments me on, like, my confidence and being able to just talk to people and, like, really being myself. And I do think it's crazy because I do really love myself, like, genuinely. But I also clearly don't at the same time. Because I put on this mask and, like, I will walk into a room so confident, but it's, like, a totally different person.
I think, like, you say you love yourself. I think you do love yourself, and I don't think you need to go as far as saying, like, part of me doesn't.
Okay. That's good.
I think you have, like, fear, and fear is hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And you're scared of this rejection, not because it doesn't have anything to do with you loving yourself. I think you do.
Yeah. I'm scared other people
Yeah,
won't.
you don't want to be shut down.
Yeah.
And no one wants to be shut down, but you have a sensitivity to that. Everyone has their shit, and because of the specific things you've gone through, you're sensitive to that. So it's harder for you to put yourself out there, even though you love yourself, and you, and I know, and your parents know, and everyone who really knows you knows. That's why you're scared of, like, people from high school that you don't even know. It's not you. It's them not getting to know you.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not wrong.
And that's why when I said, like, you don't get upset when you're rejected about things you don't really care about, and you get upset when people don't see your potential.
Yeah.
And they don't give you the chance.
Yeah, or I think that I don't allow people to get the chance. I'm not with friends, really, but, like, with guys especially. I don't allow people to get the chance because I'm too scared to find out what they'd think about it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you're right. I do really like myself, and I don't want to dismiss
Let's not minimize that. Yeah.
Catastrophizing. I do really love myself, and I think that it's weird that I'm so scared for other people, or that I don't think other people will when I do so much.
Yeah, it's ingrained in you.
Mm-hmm. That's a shame.
It is a shame. But, again, acknowledgement is the first step.
It's crazy, like, how, like, vulnerable, like, we are on the podcast.
I know. I love it.
Even just, I know, like, I keep going back to this, but we just had a guest, and being able to, like, clear everything with them and making sure everything's okay and they're comfortable, and we're just, like, we're on it.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
It's, like, it is us.
Yeah.
We're, like, selling
Sometimes
ourselves
I'm like,
here.
oh my god, people watch this.
Yeah.
Other times I'm like, that's awesome.
But I like letting the world, like, know me. Like, I like not putting on a show.
Yeah.
And, like, I really like the fact that if you don't like me, you're not going to get anywhere near me.
Yeah.
Like, no one, like, now we're cringe. Now we're cringe people. Like, people might not want to associate with us. Good riddance.
I've always been a cringe person.
Okay, well.
No, I'm not. I'm, like, saying it to say like.
But it's so freeing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do what I want.
Everyone knows.
If you don't like that,
like, you don't like my social media posts, I'm not looking to advertise to you.
No.
You're not my target audience.
And just so you guys are kind of up to speed, because now, you know, we tell you everything. I've been struggling with, like, things that people are saying. And I've been telling Haley about that. And, like, obviously that's a hard thing. That would be a hard thing for anyone.
You're literally putting yourself out there for people to judge you.
Yeah, and people are. And it's getting back to me. Like, that sucks.
And it's crazy because as much as people, 2, 3, maybe 4 people have said something negative, we have received so many positive things by I can't even, like, countless people.
Yeah.
And people that we aren't even, like, they're not even our close friends. Just people choose to go out of their way to say all these things to us, which just feels so great. And it's honestly my favorite compliment. But it's crazy that those 1 or 2 or 3 times, like, affects so much.
Yeah. But it's a good learning experience. It's a good growth experience. I feel like things come into your life for a reason, like we like to talk about. And I feel like this is one of those. This already, I've learned so much from it. It's teaching me so much about myself. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity. And we created this. Like, we did all of this.
And I'm like, I feel like I'm learning so many new skills.
Yeah.
And like, even when I was talking to my cousin about how much work it is, and I was like, we're working, I'm starting school soon, we still have lives, and like, we're still doing all these things, but we have this like full-time job almost. Like, it is a job.
I feel like I am so busy. Like,
Yeah.
and it's good because I'm passionate about this, so like, whatever. But it's crazy.
Yeah.
And good for us. We're doing that.
Yeah, we are doing that. I don't feel like I'm that busy.
Well, I just like to stay busy.
No, yeah, 'cause you are a busy gal. You like things. I literally just sit and read all day. I'm in a reading phase and I can't get out of it.
But I don't like plans. I like things, I don't like plans.
Oh, I tell my mom every day that I can't commit to a plan. She's like, why aren't you doing anything? I'm like, well, I was going to ask this person, but I actually didn't want to
Commit.
Yeah.
I feel that. So on this theme of like things not being that deep and that being maladaptive, there have been times where I've pushed things under the rug and like brushed things off that I didn't fully process. I made a TikTok about this today actually. And you think you're healed and then randomly it comes back up months later because you didn't bodily feel the emotions. Like you didn't let yourself process it. I feel like this is really common.
Oh, yeah.
And like this time going through a breakup, I'm really trying not to do that. But one of my biggest fears at the beginning was like, why am I not sadder? Why am I not? And I was like, I need to feel this now or else I'm going to feel it later. Girl, it doesn't work like that.
But you can't put so much pressure on yourself to feel something at a specific time for a specific reason.
Yeah. But you have to let it come in when it comes in. I was like, I don't want this to interrupt my work week. I don't want this to interrupt anything. But that's how emotions work.
Yeah. I think part of it is like, you say you should express the emotion and feel the emotion. I can't bring myself to do it. Like when I was talking to my friend about this whole like, it's not that deep, but it's that deep. I like was on the verge of crying, but I can't, like I won't do it. 'Cause like, I can't be vulnerable. I'm really bad at it.
Do you feel like you shut down?
I shut down it's like on the tip of my tongue almost, or like the tears, like, I feel like it just makes me look weak a little bit, even though I know it doesn't.
You're a huge advocate of journaling and like writing things out. Do you find that when you start writing, it like flows out of you more?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've always said that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like maybe that's just like your way. Because I'm not as good at that. When I write, I have so many blocks. But then when I talk to myself and I say, you're going to be vulnerable, like that's when I can let it flow more. So maybe that's just your outlet.
Yeah. I should probably start.
Yeah. It's a good thing for everyone.
I know. I like keep preaching it, but I should probably practice it.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I would think of you that you are very in touch with your emotions.
I am, I think, pretty in touch with my emotions. Like, I'm pretty self-aware.
Yeah.
I just think that I just won't feel them.
Yeah.
Like, I understand them.
Yeah. And, like, sometimes that's a good thing. You don't need to feel everything so deeply, but then sometimes it's like, well...
Yeah, and I think, like, what's important to know from this is... by making it not that deep, you're making it that deep and you're gonna leave it unhealed.
Yeah.
And like whatever it is that's like my issue, I'm like leaving that unhealed by allowing myself to continue this like, and I don't want to minimize my confidence because I am confident. I know I am, and like I know it's not all an act. Like I'm not faking it, all of it.
Yeah.
But like when I need to like get real with someone,
There's a block?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're only 22.
Yeah. I realize I also pick guys because of it, like, very specifically.
What do you mean?
Like, as I just said, I think I'm pretty self-aware. And, like, I think I'm a pretty smart person and I'm, like, emotionally intelligent. And I think I pick guys that are not on that level because then they'll never challenge me. And I need a guy that can challenge me.
Sure.
Yeah. So, like, my ex, great guy, love the guy, but he didn't challenge me. And, like, people I choose now, like, they're fun and, like, I could be, like, my confident self. I could be whoever I need. But again, here's where it comes. I don't pick people that I think would reject me or who I don't need to be myself with because I don't need to be emotionally intelligent or whatever. Yeah. So they can't reject me. Or if they do reject me, I don't care because they didn't see that part of me that I care about.
It's all coming back together.
Yeah. That was a full circle moment.
I still, like, love the saying it's not that deep and think it applies to most things in life. And I think the takeaway message is it's okay for it to be that deep as long as you don't live there forever. Yeah. You have to feel things. You have to go through it. Life has to be hard at times. But you have to know how to overcome it and look back on it and be like, it wasn't that deep.
That was a perfect summarization. I literally was thinking when that girl commented on my TikTok, I said you have to get to a point where whatever is that deep becomes not that deep, and that's a you process. Yeah. And I think you perfectly summed that up.
We are killing it today.
Yeah. And I think on a lighter note, we should play a game.
I agree. I love games.
Okay. So now that we've distinguished between is it that deep, it's usually not that deep, let's go with it's not, we're going to play a game. Yay. Is it that deep? You play along with us. And what we're going to do is I'm going to read situations and we're going to decide, is it that deep or are we being drama queens? Okay. The first one, they watched your Instagram story but didn't reply to your DM. It's not that deep.
No.
And if you care, like, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
You have to know that, like, it's not about you.
No.
I'm not answering anyone. Your friend reacted to your sad post but didn't check in. Depends.
Depends. Yeah.
Because, like, if someone, like, cries on their private story every day about, like, nonsense, eventually I won't ask anymore. Yeah. But, like, if you're not, like, someone that's a drama queen usually and you're crying, like, I'll 100% check in.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like an emoji is kind of, like, I'm here if you need me. Like, it's not I wouldn't want that from a close friend. But
yeah, I guess you're right.
But no, you're right too.
I know, but I didn't even realize it was reacted. Like, I was kind of thinking ignore. But no, reacted is totally fine in my books. Yeah. And you're definitely nicer than I am in those situations, so, like, it's not that deep. Number 3. You introduce them to your favorite artist and now they listen without you. Oh my god. If you...
Get away from me.
Yeah. We are deep. Not for each other. That is, like, the person that commented on my TikTok in what I like to call a Toby.
No. Get away from me.
Can't. Your partner said you're so chill and now you never show emotion. I think that's that deep, but on her side.
Yeah.
Like, it's that deep that you're not showing emotion because someone said you're so chill.
Yeah. Like, it's a wall that was put up. Like,
yeah. Like, it's not that deep that you said you're so chill.
Yeah.
And I had a whole talk with my friend about this. That... Again, with the rejection is you get so upset when people call out things that you care about. So if I called you out and I was like, you're bad at math, you'd be like, I know, I don't give a fuck. But if I called you out and said, you're a people pleaser or something that you care about, then you'd be like, what?
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. So it's kind of on you. I have a question that, so something she asked me was, do you think that you can put, not the blame, but you can put the blame on other people for the way you feel about something?
Yeah. So I saw that. I know what you're talking about. Ooh, that's a tough one. Do you think you could blame someone else for how you feel? In some cases, yes. In most cases, no. What's your immediate answer?
My immediate answer is yes, but then when I think about it, I say no. I think it's definitely circumstantial, but a lot of times it's how you react to situations. So as I said, if someone said that you're bad at math, you wouldn't have the same emotional reaction as if someone said something that you care about.
Yeah.
So just because they're saying one or the other thing, it doesn't mean either was less mean or whatever.
I'm more thinking like if someone cheats on you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was a totally different approach.
Yeah.
You could totally blame them.
Yeah.
It's totally their fault.
Okay. I agree.
That was a crazy change of events in my brain.
Well, because I was going like...
No, it's...
But, yeah, most things I feel like other than... Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. Forget it.
Just, again, it's that deep, but it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Okay, next. They didn't post a birthday story for you, but did for someone else. I don't care.
Not that deep.
It's not that deep. And if it is that deep, find hobbies.
Touch grass.
Well, this one's crazy. Honestly, this is that deep for me. You opened up and they replied with, "Damn, that's crazy." That's that deep.
That's
crazy.
Deep. I would block them. I would literally like delete the conversation, delete the person, and like, never speak to them.
I'd be like, oh, and that is why I don't open up to people.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Damn, that's crazy.
Crazy.
That's that deep. So just like we're gonna play sort of the same game, but now just a little bit of a twist on it. So instead of it's not that deep, are we either gonna fake it? So are we gonna mask, avoid, pretend to be super chill, or are we gonna face it? So like confront a situation and like put emotion and be real. Okay.
I love this. Okay, before we begin, which of these little ones, like, give me a very quick synopsis of what they are, because I want to hold one, and I want it to mean something.
Well, what do you give me intention and I'll put it on one.
Peacefulness, and confidence.
I think of two. Okay.
Okay, I'll hold them both.
I think of amethyst because amethyst is really good for depression, anxiety, calm. Like people say you should sleep next to it. It's a very calming and nurturing stone.
Calming and nurturing.
If you want something for confidence,
she's all I need.
Perfect. Next episode, we'll have a crystal of the episode.
No, seriously. Crystal of the segment.
Would that grind my gears?
Too much.
Grind my gears is the opposite of what I tried to say. Okay, back to our game.
Yeah.
So scenario number 1. Your friend's boyfriend gives you weird vibes. It depends on your friend.
It really does, and it depends how deep into the relationship we are.
Yeah, like, if you have a friend that, like, if you're really deep and you know, like, you've brought things up before and, like, maybe it didn't go so well, sometimes it's better to just brush it off.
And, like, not my circus, not my monkeys. Like, if this is not a close friend of mine, I'm not getting into that drama.
No.
If it's you, on the other hand, we're having a chat.
We're having a chat and hopefully it goes okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope.
Yeah. No, I don't know, because when you were in your last relationship, like, there wasn't really anything, like, I would ever have to talk to you about. So, like, it wasn't that deep. But I think, like, in the past, sometimes I would choose to ignore it.
For sure in the past.
Yeah.
But
now, in the present moment, I'd be like, girl,
no, exactly.
get a grip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like it's my obligation.
Yeah.
You're my sister.
And, like, I'm not so good at keeping things in as it is. Next question. Your situationship likes your friend's bikini pic.
No.
You have to just pretend to be chill.
No,
Your situationship? Okay, you
how
could confront
serious are
it.
we?
Oh, if you're in a
That's
situationship, it's never
disrespectful,
serious.
though.
Let's be real.
I don't want that.
I know, but that's what a situationship is.
I wouldn't be in that.
Yeah, but, like, no one's in a situationship. If I don't know, I'm very, like, I think, confident in this. Not confident, passionate. Like, no one's in a situationship if you're gonna be with the guy. You could maybe be exclusive at the beginning, but you're not in a situationship.
But then I wouldn't even call that a situationship. That's just a guy.
Yeah, but people do get into situationships where they're, like, not dating but dating.
I guess.
And it's because you're never gonna date, but, like...
Yeah.
So he's off liking
but
other girls' Instagram.
I don't want... like, that would just send me over the edge, and I would never talk
Would you confront?
Like, I wouldn't confront. Like, I would either push it under the rug, depending on the situation, or just be like, ew. Get away from... Like,
I hope I'd be able to be like... get out of here, but who knows?
No, I know. Myself.
Okay, good for you.
For now.
Number 3. You're anxious about the group trip and don't want to go anymore. I feel like we've both been anxious about the group trip.
Yeah.
You have to face it.
But I would bring it up.
Yeah, face it, feel it, confront it.
Yeah.
Like, why pretend to be chill? Like, I get so anxious about when we used to go on canoe trips at camp. I got anxious. I'd have panic attacks before. It was awful. Like, when we go on fun trips, when we went to Italy, I was meeting her there. I was so excited, but I had a panic attack before I left. I was freaking out. I was so anxious. And just because you also, like, can't let that anxiety stop you from doing something that's scary.
Okay, that was a really good. I'm going to Asia in June, and for a while I like was thinking about not going solely due to fear. Like that was it. I'm scared. That was literally what I would say. And people were like trying to be comforting and being like, "Yeah, make your decision." My dad was like, "You're going. You have to go." I asked him because Haley was maybe going to go to Israel, and she was like, "Come with me." And I'm like, "Oh, that's a really good option." So I was going to do that, and that would have been amazing if that worked out. But like, that was such a safe option to me. And like, why would I do that?
There's no reason to.
So I am still scared, and I bring it up in therapy every week, but I'm doing it anyway.
And good for you. And you're gonna have an amazing time.
My dad said to me, he's like, "What? So you're gonna?" I said, "I'm scared to die. I'm scared to go, and I'm scared to die because I would feel too bad for other people." And he said, "So you're gonna sit in your room all summer, and I'll bring you sandwiches? Like what?" And I was like, "Oh, so I'm a loser." And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go. The flights are booked.
Yeah, it would be really fun.
It'd be worth it.
Always. I really wish I was going with you.
Oh, I wish you were too.
I know. I'm like, I was really on a balancing beam for so long about it. And like, in my mind, I'm like, I still want to go. But on the other side, I'm like, I feel like I don't know, like, if I end up going to Israel, but like, regardless, I feel like I need to like start being a little bit more financially responsible.
Yeah. You haven't talked to me that much about this. Like, I didn't know it was such a topic in your mind because
yeah, a little bit.
I think you knew I would try to convince you, and maybe you know that that's not what's best.
Yeah, and like, I do want to go to Israel, but I also haven't like done anything for it.
Yeah.
And I keep talking about it, so like, why aren't I just doing it? I literally went away for 6 months and spent a lot of money and did not work.
Yeah.
So, and like, if I ever want to move out.
Yeah. No, it's the right decision. You also like, you just had that amazing experience. It's not like you need to do that right now. You'll do it.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like, it's fun to be here in the summer.
Without you for a month.
I know. You're gonna be fine though.
I know, it'll be fine. It will go by.
I'm gonna get scared that you're gonna not miss me. So keep telling me that.
We were out. I don't know how much of this you'll put in.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever. Okay,
I'm having fun.
We were out the other day. We were a little tipsy. We were with our friends. We were going to a bar, and we were getting into Ubers. And we had 2 Ubers. I was being pulled into one Uber by half of the people, and we get into the elevator. I'm like, oh my god, Joelle.
I was like, no, there were like 8 boys at this pre, and we were the only 2 girls.
Yeah.
Don't forget to mention that. So like, we stick together.
Like, either way, we stick together.
Yeah.
But we like had talked about how we're going in an Uber together, and then like I'm like, oh my god, Joelle, like, what is she gonna do? I call our friend. I was like, Livy, make sure Joelle gets in the Uber. Like, what is she
Which made me look like such a baby.
But like, what are you gonna do? Not get into the fucking Uber? And I was like, oh my god. I was like, make sure she's okay, please. I was like, I was like, oh, she's gone.
Such a princess.
I was like, she's gone. I was like, how did this happen?
Oh my god, no, that's funny. And I pretended to be so mad. I was like, Haley, why would you leave?
Elevator doors were closing, and I'm like, oh no.
That's so funny. I didn't realize it was that dramatic.
Yeah, it was.
I feel bad now.
Oh my god, see? Don't feel fucking bad.
Okay.
That's it's not that deep.
Okay. I keep forgetting the name of the game. Like, I keep
Fake
forgetting
it or face it.
Fake it or face it.
You feel left out, but you don't want to seem needy.
Ooh, I fear fake it. Maybe not anymore in my life, but
I think it definitely I think I say face it. I think this is really hard to do, but I think you gotta know who your audience is and like how comfortable you are with these people. But I think sometimes like you just have to make, like, what I always say is like I invite myself to plan sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna invite myself to somewhere where like I know I don't feel wanted. I would never do that. But if I know like my friends are all hanging out, half the time they didn't even think about you.
Yeah.
And like that's not that deep.
Yeah.
And when you say, oh, I'm going to come, they're like, oh, okay. Like, no one's like, ew, I don't want her to come. So sometimes you just have to invite yourself to things. Or if I was like, sometimes I'll text you and I'm like, I need validation about this. Or like, I feel like you're mad at me or you're annoyed at me. And I just ask because it's just easier to get that validation. And sometimes like we all feel a little needy. Like no one likes to be so like vulnerable in situations and talk about their feelings. But it's good.
I totally agree. And I think like I'm on the pursuit to be like that. I just think that that's like one of the sensitive things for me. Like I'm not great at putting myself out there in those sort of situations, but I should be. And I think presently, like if that happened with somebody I care about, I would say something.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like you're uncomfortable either way. One way you're growing.
Yeah.
One way you're hiding. So it's like, pick your poison.
And maybe one time you'll be like, I can do it. And another time you'll be like, I'm just going to watch Netflix and that's okay.
You don't got to be consistent.
No. Next. You think your friend has been copying your whole personality.
Run.
I was gonna say face it, but I fear you have to just run.
There's no coming back from that.
No. Like, it's not that uncommon. But yeah, run.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, period. You're not over your ex, but your friends are sick of hearing about it. This is hard.
This is hard.
To get a therapist. Talk to your friends.
I
don't know. It's really easier said than done.
Yeah.
Because I totally get that. Like, there's a certain amount of time that goes that it's like your friends are checking in on you every day. They're like, everyone's making sure you're okay and it's really great. But then just because time has passed doesn't mean you're healing, but everyone kind of has grieved your relationship in a way. Yeah. So just because it's still in your mind, they not necessarily won't talk about it with you, but it's not on their mind.
Yeah. But you need to set boundaries with your friendships. Friendships should bring you a lot of joy. It shouldn't all be about talking about the breakup.
Yeah, I think it's a big problem when people talk about a situation, whether it's a breakup or a makeup or a make
Constantly?
out. Yeah. Like if someone talks about themselves all the time, that's not great. Yeah. But I think being able to like say something when you do need that help is also really important.
Yeah. So, depends on the sitch.
I hope you do that.
What? I forgot what it is, honestly.
Talk to me if you're sad.
Oh, I do.
Okay. Your boundaries are being crossed, but you don't want to cause drama.
I feel like I get very sassy.
You do get sassy.
And like, that's my way of being like, you're crossing a line.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like very sassy in my normal life, I don't think. Like, that's why we'd be like, get away from me.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that really bad?
No, just because you do something doesn't make it bad, Joelle.
Yeah, I could be mean. That'd be bad.
Copy there. I don't know, because I don't know. I probably don't do anything. I probably should. I probably just leave it.
I feel like you ignore it.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm not even gonna. Works out for me. Just pretend it doesn't exist.
It does work out for you.
The other person could be like,
it's not that deep.
It's not that deep.
Just in case you guys forgot the topic of this episode.
It's psychology, but it's not that deep.
Because I forgot.
It's not that deep.
Anyway.
You're not doing well mentally, but you're the strong one in the group.
Acknowledge it. Like, talk about it. Face it.
Yeah, you should face it. But it's hard.
Think it's hard, but I think, like, what we were talking about with Wise, too, like, it can help someone else open up.
Yeah.
Like, being vulnerable, like, fosters vulnerability. So if you think I'm so strong, but I'm going through this, then, like, oh, it's okay that I'm going through this.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, face it. Someone gives you a backhanded compliment often, slap them in the face.
Literally. I would, like, spit in their food.
Okay, but here's the issue, okay? I'm the one that gives backhanded compliments by mistake.
No, you can't categorize yourself like that.
I
You
know.
don't get backhanded compliments. You just give like what?
Like, yeah.
Like they're not rude. They're just like
they're just facts.
They leave you confused.
Yeah, like I just state facts sometimes that could be construed as rude, but I just mean to state the obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, this is our final question. You want to cancel plans, but you don't want to disappoint anyone. Face it, confront it, don't go.
I often go.
Me and my mom have this conversation all the time because I'm like, you're gonna regret going, and she's like, I know, and she goes.
But at what point do you have to push yourself and like go?
Of course, I think it's important, like if our friends are going downtown or they're going out to do something, but if you like chill with the same people, or your two friends are going to get ice cream and you're like, oh, I feel like I have to go. Sometimes I don't want to go, and I like to be by myself.
Yeah.
I enjoy reading, and if I'm like, I don't want to go, I want to enjoy my time there. Why would I go? Why would I waste my time?
Yeah, no, I definitely face that.
Okay, well, that was all of our questions for our 2 games, and I think this is a really long episode.
Yeah, but I'm down for it.
I'm down for it too, and I hope you guys are down for it too. And I hope it was translated well. I think we were a little silly goofy, but I think that's good. I think if anyone has any ideas for us, anything that they'd like for us to talk about, please let us know. If you made it this far in the video, we love you.
Think back on your day and think of something that happened that maybe annoyed you, and just think, like, what if I said it's not that deep? What if I, like, just reframed it? Like, it's really not that big a deal. I don't need to get so worked up over this. How would my day have been different?
Yeah. Or if you get into an argument with a friend, a boss, a family member, try to just stop yourself in the middle and go, oh, wait, it's not that deep. It really changed the game.
Well, thanks for watching. It's not that deep.
We love you. Bye.